Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another live stream. Little bit of a late start. I do apologize, but I am back.
Sales are already up 50% year over year since the launch on July 25th. And it's not just the US, South Korea, India, Europe is breaking records everywhere. And the S25 lineup, also a monstrous success. Look at the quarter 2 numbers in the US. Samsung sales are up 38%, while Apple dropped 11% in market share. Apple's clearly struggling, whether it's the boring iPhone 16 launch, or their AI mess-up, or the tariff drama. But Samsung, they're thriving. Remember all the outrage about the S25 launch and the Fold 7 missing features like the S Pen? Turns out the vast majority of buyers don't even care. Sales didn't just hold, but they're the best they've been in like about the last 5 years. Hopefully that doesn't give Samsung an excuse to dish the S Pen entirely on.
What's up, Free to Think? How you doing, brother?
S Pen fans are a small group, but that pen is still the Ultra's single most unique feature. Taken away and it's just another big Samsung phone. Thankfully, the S26 Ultra is still expected to keep the S Pen with its built-in slot, but beyond that, I'm not so sure about future Ultras. If you want the 5 confirmed upgrades for the S26 Ultra, click right here and I'll see you there.
Now that I'm a mom, things are different.
How dare you rush me?
Plan. My overpacking has reached new levels. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose whatever plan they want. I save money.
How would you feel if I told you that?
You better rest. I'm a fan of. Your vertical streaming on Twitch? I know.
Alright, we've got a few different new Nintendo Switch 2 news and updates to discuss today, starting with Nintendo Switch 2 and the stock levels that we may see walking into the holiday season, because Nintendo does tend to do things off the traditional beaten path, and of course they launched a console in the summertime, which is kind of the off season for retail shopping and things. And
twerking compilations?
We will be ramping up for the
We stopped doing those.
sales cycle of this console.
We stopped doing those. No more twerking compilation, squad.
Console, and Nintendo is apparently asking their
You're in my live
to
stream,
actually
brother.
ramp up supply and stock even more than that of what they are doing currently. So I want to walk through that and what that means for the holiday shopping season and Switch 2 stock levels. Then we do have an interesting story flying around about DLSS 3.1 potentially being the technology that is used in Switch 2, with an asterisk around the story because there is some questioning around the company that is posting this, but we'll walk through all the details and discuss really what it means, because I don't think we've actually seen the true depth of DLSS utilized yet on Nintendo hardware. And as developers get more comfortable, I do think that that's something that's clearly going to aid developers in getting their ports to run and work correctly and up to acceptable standards on the Switch 2. We do have a list of top performing games in
I've just been using Trent and Owen on my face, guys. It freaking burns.
the Japan eShop, and it is good to see one of these games listed that I want to remind you and encourage you guys to maybe go check out if you haven't gotten a chance to do so yet. And finally, we're going to wrap it up with a really interesting pricing situation that's hitting the original Switch lineup of consoles, because you probably remember in the US here, we saw a price increase. However, at certain retailers right now, you can actually pick it up for less than what it was selling before. So we'll get on the same page with all of this info right after a quick word from today's video sponsor. So I didn't think I would need a new chair, but I'll be honest, the Flexi Spot Lotus recliner has completely leveled up my relaxation time.
What's up, bro? Check this out.
Pop-off king will do, brother. Watch and learn.
First of all, the
Wait,
seat
buy a
is
tablet?
spacious. I'm talking
I'm not in debt no
29
more.
inches wide with these really thick, comfy armrests. I can sit cross-legged, lounge sideways, even curled up with a blanket, and still have plenty of room. It's not one of those stiff
And
chairs
if you're
where
my
you have to
hero,
sit a
thank you,
certain
brother.
way. This one actually lets you relax how you want to. And then there's the swivel and rocking feature, which for me just goes hand in hand with intense gaming sessions. And it's nice to not only be able to enjoy things like my Switch 2 in handheld mode, but also when looking at a monitor, I can rotate the chair any direction it needs to point for the living room and align it with the TV field of view or for conversations with people over. But my favorite part, reclining, is literally effortless. It just moves with you as you lean back easily into a nap mode, if you will, and the footrest either extends out with a one pull lever in my case, or there is options with electronic buttons as well. And if you get the electric version, there's even USB ports built right in so you can keep your phone charged while you're relaxing as well. Mine does have this nice hidden storage space, perfect for storing your Switch, your game controllers, AirPods, whatever you have, maybe a book, and it tucks away nicely when you don't need it, and it's right there, easy to access when you do. What's also great is that it doesn't just feel good, it actually looks really nice. It's premium, the color fits right into my space, and it doesn't scream recliner the way some bulky ones do. It's got clean lines, soft cushioning, and it just adds to the whole cozy vibe here. It's very family friendly, as my dog Sylveon has just as much fun sitting on this chair as I do, and there's plenty of space for both
What's
of
up,
us
Max?
when relaxing and playing some games. So whether you're working from home, winding down at night, or just want a better spot to lounge, I seriously recommend checking out the FlexiSpot Lotus recliner to level up your relaxation game. You can click the link in the pinned comment and description down below and see all the options, and use my exclusive code Lotus30 and you'll get 30 off and free shipping, which is a pretty great deal. So go check out your FlexiSpot Lotus recliner today. Big thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. All right, and I want to first kick it off over at Go Nintendo, where you can see the following write-up, which outlines Nintendo appears to be ramping up Switch 2 production for the holiday season. And we have here down in the article, while Nintendo hasn't gotten into the specifics of how many Switch 2 units they'll be producing, their partners have
Shout out my boy Todd, will do.
Increased production run.
What's going on? Just
ahead
playing
of the
RuneScape.
holiday season. Here's what's been discovered in the financial reports from companies Nintendo has teamed with to build Switch 2. And first, you have
Lily
Pixar
Pano,
indicating
thanks.
expects 11 to 19% increase of sales to Nintendo July through September. Poseidon revised forecasts of 6-month sales up 10.3% April through September. Pixar is the sole supplier of the optical sensors on the Switch 2 Joy-Con that allow for the mouse mode. Poseidon is an
My two
assembler
accounts in
of
BH? Why not, brother?
hardware and accessories, with both companies expecting boosts in their bottom line. It indicates that they've been working with the big end to crank out more Switch 2 units than usual. It's not surprising to see production lines boosted as the holiday season nears, and both companies appear confident that demand for the hardware will remain high. There's no doubt that Nintendo wants to make sure that the Switch 2 is stocked and ready for the holiday season, and they'd have to make those preparations a number of months in advance. If Nintendo is indeed getting things prepped right now, let's hope that everyone who wants a Switch 2 this holiday season has no trouble hunting one down. And I do think that on that last line, yeah, if you just look at the Switch 2's launch compared to other historical console launches, PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles being ones that really, I mean, it was a couple years before you could even walk into a store and potentially casually find those on retail shelves. You really had to hunt down stock drops online and be ready at a moment's notice at any point for those to potentially go live. I am glad that is not the case with the Switch 2. Of course, that was consoles launching right in the middle of a pandemic, which was kind of interesting to begin with, but we are in a much better situation with the Switch 2. It's not like you can just go casually find one anywhere at any given time, but there are
How's the transition going? It's going pretty
where
good.
you can just be at a store and check the shelves for Switch 2, and they will be there. We are also seeing online stock pretty plentiful and readily available at most times, at least I've seen here lately. So it's
Queen,
like sellouts do happen,
going to
but
good,
then they are
brother.
quickly restocked with more inventory. So Nintendo's breaking all types of records in terms of console sales. They're not losing any momentum, and as mentioned in the beginning of the video, they're kind of doing things off season because of course the holiday sales season is the most heavy traffic for general consumers, and that's when a lot of people are going to start looking at buying a Switch 2 besides the core base. So I do think Nintendo has kind of the right strategy here, because you launch console off season, all of the hardcore fans go out and buy it day one and start to pick it up as they can over those months, so you still get good
Still
sales
got a
there.
wee-wee yet.
Nintendo broke the all-time time console launch record in terms of units and stuff with the Switch 2, so they clearly knew what they were doing with that.
Switch
Then
2.
you hit the first holiday sales season, and everybody that's more of the casual audience may actually be looking into this thing, getting it for their kids, family, friends, loved ones, all of that stuff. Nintendo Switch 2, if it's available and can be stocked through the holiday season, will probably push this thing to a pretty nice first year number. Nintendo has forecasted 15 million units. That's probably pretty low compared to what they're actually going to achieve in their first fiscal year with this thing on the market. So if production does indeed ramp up to higher levels than what it is right now, hopefully you don't have a hard time finding a Switch 2 this holiday season if you
Bro,
already
what is my
picked
target
one up
doing,
still.
man?
And we have seen comments from Furukawa and Doug Bowser that basically just states that, you know, Nintendo's not worried about being able to supply this thing. They actually had worked with partners all throughout this console launch and even started production earlier than what you typically would before the reveal of the console, which led to all of those leaks and stuff that we saw before Nintendo revealed it. So shouldn't be too hard to find a Switch 2 this holiday season if you need to pick one up for yourself or somebody else. Okay, moving on from here, we do have the Nintendo Switch 2 apparently uses DLSS 3.1, and we're going to talk about the asterisks with this story, but you can see Linkspike Games, which appears to be a developer and publishing company which specializes in porting and supporting indie games, has shared online that Nintendo Switch 2 uses DLSS 3.1. We already know that Nintendo Switch 2 features DLSS, but Nvidia has not specifically said which version of DLSS the system uses. DLSS, deep learning super sampling, enables
Pop off, King. We'll try. We'll try.
frame rates. So this is the exact post in question here, and the reason I'm saying an asterisk with this story
Get
is
some
it
nice
does say
skills.
right at the top, unique features from this developer. It says DLSS 3.1, ray tracing, 4K HDR TV, 120 hertz, and handheld, and it's coming from Linkspike Games. Now, this is a very small publishing studio, and it has been cited that some of their
Freaking lag, man.
stuff is kind of sketchy at best. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense at all times. Now, maybe English is not their first language, and there's just some mistranslations and stuff like that. But
Why can't I move, bro?
You know, a well-known, established, big publication, people are kind of taking this one with a pinch of salt, which I would recommend to do the same. But if it is indeed 3.1 DLSS, that would basically just mean it's on more of a modern version of DLSS, and that would be better. I think it does have access to things like frame generation, if I'm not mistaken, if it is 3.1. But that said, 3.1 can also be the version and then not support all of the features of 3.1 across the board, from my understanding. So I don't think this really is a big swing in the confirmation of DLSS either way. Like, we kind of still need to kind of wait and see where this is at from a bigger developer and publisher. But this is the first studio that I've seen online actually publicly mentioning the version type. And listen, the more modern version of DLSS it is, the better for the long term of this console. And what's interesting is we've seen a lot of different reports, like Nintendo themselves from their first party titles haven't really utilized DLSS so far. They probably just haven't needed to with games like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Good luck, brother.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, I mean, definitely towards the end where there's like chaos on screen, does legit have slowdown, but I don't think that they felt it necessary to use the DLSS upscaling tech. However, when we talk about, you know, those modern day PS5 Series S and X level games that are coming to Switch 2 as well, I think developers having access to something like DLSS is clearly a game changer for the Switch 2. And we've seen a lot of porting studios basically just come out and confidently state if something runs on the Series S, they're not going to have a problem, and it's actually going to be easy to get.
That's still my target, man.
On the Switch 2. And you know, we've had those exact sentiments put to us from companies like Virtuos, who actually handle exactly that process, which is porting games to Switch 2. So I don't think we have too much to worry about for the current generation version of console games. Once we talk about PS6 and whatever Xbox is cooking up for their next generation, obviously
PS6,
if the
guys.
graphical power leap is significant there, we will once again maybe see some ports that don't quite look as good on Nintendo's platform as they do on the others. But I think we are personally kind of at a point of diminishing returns with graphical fidelity in games. And listen, if I can just get my favorite series a couple iterations in a single console life cycle, it's more of a win for me, as opposed to just having like one game take 10 years and then you're not going to see another iteration of it for another 10 years. That's kind of where it's like, are the graphics and the top-notch ultra realistic styles even worth it at that point, at least in my mindset? But no doubt 3.1, if that is the version of DLSS that Nintendo has baked into the Switch 2 for the dev kits and all of that stuff, that's clearly going to be something that's just an extra tool in developers' belts to potentially get higher frame rates, higher resolutions, easier on the console when it comes to porting games. Okay, from here we have Japan. Nintendo reveals best-selling eShop games for July 2025. And we have Nintendo has announced the most popular games for the month of July on the Nintendo eShop. This covers both Nintendo Switch and its successor, the Nintendo Switch 2. As expected, it was the magical 3D platformer Donkey Kong Bonanza, which claimed the top spot on the Nintendo Switch 2. Donkey Kong's latest adventure is followed by Tamagotchi Plaza, which is set in Tamahiko Town and Tamagotchi Planet. Incredibly, Tamagotchi Plaza sold better than both Mario Kart World and Street Fighter 6, claiming the second place in July in the land of the rising sun. And what I wanted to kind of highlight here is just the fact that Donkey Kong Bonanza holding its own. Of course, that is the launch month for the game in July, but the fact that it stayed at the top of the charts all month, nice to see. Just a reminder for you guys, go buy that game if you haven't. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's a better value than Mario Kart World personally. I enjoyed my time with Mario Kart World. I'm still going to be playing it plenty just for fun and multiplayer and all that kind of stuff. But when you talk about having a single player first party Nintendo experience, Donkey Kong Bonanza delivers on the 3D platforming, really just action game, because you're like smashing stuff at all times. But the various different forms Donkey Kong transfers into, the story, which I will not spoil for you guys, but huge story elements. If you've been a lifelong Donkey Kong fan like I have, like big payoffs in this game. I cannot recommend people enough to go give it a chance at that $70 retail. We're probably not going to see any kind of sale on it anytime soon. I think Costco and some other retailers every now and then one-off you can find it a little bit cheaper than that $70 price point if you're going for the physical copy. But yeah, just pick this one up, add it into your collection. It's incredible what Nintendo did with this game, and definitely a highlight of the Switch 2 and one of my 2025 game of the year is, quite honestly. This one and Expedition 33 are at the top of my chart right now. So nice to see that it's actually performing well, and of course we will see how it holds up for the long term, but I do believe that this will be definitely breaking all the records in terms of a Donkey Kong installment from a sales perspective, and we will have to see, you know, if Nintendo continues this trend of giving Donkey Kong his own big 3D adventures, or if maybe we're going back to the 2D era from here. I would love to see both supported, you know, incrementally and stuff like that for me personally. But let me know your take on Donkey Kong Bonanza in the comments down below, and what you think of the top 10 list out of Japan on the eShop. Okay, from here to close this out, we have an interesting pricing situation going on with the Nintendo Switch right now.
Get off your phone.
You probably remember that we got an official announcement that due to market conditions, aka tariffs, we are seeing a price increase in the Nintendo Switch family of systems. So that meant the OLED was going to $400, the base console was going to $339, and the Lite to $229. So actually notable increases in the overall price point there. Well, you can see as you look at retailers here in the US now, Target, interestingly, they just went ahead out of the jump and raised everything in accordance with Nintendo's own new suggested prices. As you can see, the Switch 1, $339, OLED, $399, and even the Lite, $229. So that's all what you would expect to see. However, you hop over to a retailer like Best Buy, and you can see, interestingly enough, it is not reflecting the price adjustments. It's $299 the base model, it's $349 the OLED, and $199 the Lite. Now, what's even more interesting than that is you go to a retailer like Walmart, and
yeah, what's up, Gavin?
Actual price decreases. So you have the OLED model for $299 right now, both with the white dock and Joy-Cons and the black dock and Joy-Cons. Interesting. Okay, then you also have some restored or refurbished ones even cheaper than that, but just focusing on, you know, the direct brand new from Nintendo out of factory, an actual price decrease for the OLED model at Walmart. So what's happening, it seems to me, is that retailers have probably a large amount of stock from Nintendo already of their original Switches, and they are just okay with not hiking up the price and selling them for what they purchased them for already, or just kind of cutting losses a little bit on it. Who knows exactly what the margin's going to be on an OLED whenever they sell it at $299, but this seems to be something like them clearing out some of the stock as opposed to just going in line. Now, it may happen that once this initial wave of stock is sold through, that we do see them actually adjust those prices up. But the fact that we had a price increase officially announced, and then we actually see a sale go on in certain retailers, or just not even go up at all, like Best Buy staying the same, Walmart actually literally going down in price, it's interesting. So if you
what is that speaking? Sunbro Nation. You're back.
escape, and working class people have to live with the consequences. But this time it came for the elites, and they are secretly relieved that Trump's doing something about it.
And I think this is just the beginning. But I think it's going to happen in Chicago. I think it's going to happen in Baltimore because the president is really upset about the chaos he saw in the first term, and he's not going to take it in the second term. That's the benefit. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Our next guest lost her brother to the streets of Washington, D.C. Eric Jackson was a congressional intern who was shot multiple times in June this year. Just 1 mile from the White House. He died the following day in the hospital. The president spoke about Eric and other D.C. victims earlier today.
In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from the White House. Don't know him. Great person. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street just absolutely for no reason.
So, these are real life.
Turn on join requests. It doesn't work on computer. It would though. Yeah, that guy died. You Slayer? No way, brother. Turn on join request. It won't let me do that. Or a game like Amnesia. $40K item. Wow. Lab with Daniel Larson. Who's that? This boy is running already. Chanced him. A chance of flip out of him. He's live in jail. I thought he got released, man. He should get released. Favorite female streamer? Thank you, brother. See, my target will tag me. I feel kind of sick, guys. I feel kind of sick. Come on, target, attack me, bro. What's up, Osa?
To my stream? That is very abnormal behavior, sir.
Come on, guys, we gotta get some kills.
Crying about
You know that's a bad
Anthony
guy.
again.
Anytime somebody hangs out with them, they need to look at him and say, that's the bad guy. There goes the bad guy.
I mean, I told Aaron I would have tasted this, yeah.
I know what he had to go. Yeah, I don't close.
Action Man is insane, bro. He's crazy, man.
I was outside.
He's out of his damn mind.
You look at me. You're a very smart businessman. Yeah, dude, I'm lying about
You don't wait for the wagon and grass, Myochi. If that's the logic you're going with. Wonder how many times Anthony has been looking through my window in the middle of the night. Taman, oh really? Did he find it? Because it doesn't look like he found it, based on what I see on the map.
Come on, bro. How do I get gapped?
kind of a fat.
No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's
Are
okay.
you recording?
Thank you.
Sus chat. Have you ever been tongue deep with Hut John's shitter?
really?
And she
Where?
just rips a fart right on your
Not
tongue.
here?
Yada. You know, real baller shit.
Almost got him.
He may have found love, but he didn't find the RFID.
I'm alright, I'm alright.
Interesting.
Fucking Taman, dude.
Play a horror game?
Thought Myochi was smart.
No way.
You just that fast, chanced him.
No.
Dead.
No way.
You just found it, that's so fucked. It's unlucky. You go.
You guys just see that on my screen?
Yeah, it's like a tick off.
He's gonna try to escape 100%.
Yeah. You can keep him there. Yeah. You can keep him there.
You said what?
You can keep him there. Got that?
I got him.
Oh, that's
No.
That's ACB. That's
Fucking
ACB,
hell.
bro. That's literally ACB. Yeah, 44.9.
Oh
That's
my
ACB.
God.
That's fucking crazy, no?
That's so good.
That's the biggest AGS I've ever hit, too.
You're always lucky, honestly. You're just an RNG PK.
That's
It's
ACB.
like kind of-
67 headshot there.
He's always lucky.
That's
He's
fucking
always
beautiful.
lucky.
Yo, it's not even. Come on now. Give me some respect there. Give me some
Joke's kid,
respect.
that was really good. It's really good.
That's actually a big ass kill, by the way. And he had spear on him, by the way. I think he was motivating the whole time.
Hell of deserved, mate. Hell yeah.
Let's
See, that's what
fucking
I'm saying,
go,
like,
bro.
you
We just
can't
got
even
Vitrus.
go over there, you
Bro,
got
that's
this.
Vitrus bottoms and ACB for us, Rice.
Yeah, like you finally not being fucking useless. Like, what's going on?
Whoa,
What
whoa.
the fuck?
How's your wrist? It's going good, brother. Oh, my sound. Why my sound's not working, man? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna DC again. Dude, why does it do that? Alright, 2 can play that game. Who can play that game? What game is this? This is old school RuneScape. Thank you, brother. Don't ever freaking rush me again. It was a mistake rushing me. That's for certain. Second kill of the day, we'll take it. He could just turn around and kill me. I don't know why he's not. Oh no, he wants to triple eat. What's up, Santos? Why is this guy rushing me?
An original Switch family of systems, I would say that Walmart would definitely be the best bet right now. Best Buy would be a backup if you need it. And then, you know, just avoid shopping at Target for the Switch 1 family of systems if you can avoid it, because they have the higher prices. So who knows if this will remain in effect for long term or not, but I do think that because these retailers, you know, have a surplus of stock already on hand.
What's up, Seth?
They're choosing to sell them at a lower price as opposed to just following the price hike across the board that Nintendo announced. But let me know what you make of all the different stories in the comments down below before you leave. How are you enjoying your Switch 2 personally right now? And what games have you been enjoying on the platform? What do you think about the holiday season and the console stock level that Nintendo appears to be ramping up? Do you think that they are going to be able to meet demand over the holiday season, or do you think we're going to see a lot of sellouts everywhere? What do you think about this DLSS 3.1 story floating around online? Do you think that yes, indeed, that probably is the version that Nintendo has baked in? Do you think this publishing company might be a little bit too fishy to trust? What do you think about Donkey Kong Bonanza sitting at the top spot in the eShop? And have you personally enjoyed that game if you checked it out or not? And are you in the shopping market for a Switch 1 family of systems right now? And will you be taking advantage of any of these lower price points that are kind of surprising and out of left field? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching.
How many years been playing? Like 20, bro. RuneScape
All right,
is
ladies
life.
and gentlemen, we have the official confirmation of the July Nintendo Direct that a lot of people did not think would be happening, but on the very last day of the month, it is indeed taking place. However, this is confirmation now officially from Nintendo.
It's like they know when I binge, bro, I swear. Hopefully should be good. Come on, finish her off. Still doing this stuff every day, brother. Come on, let's smite her, bro. I want those D-boots. I want those D-boots. Good fight. Good fight, brother. What's up, Elijah? Nope, it's not my computer that's lagging, bro. Good luck. You're going down. No. Good fight, brother. You got her. Now let's get this character. I don't really want to reset this computer. Alright guys, I'll be right back.
Density to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all the because the teeny weeny mushroom piece of kills McTucker.
Whoever seen such unhinged rhetoric based on nothing? The co-host of the Clay Travis Buck Simpson show, former CIA analyst himself, Buck Simpson, just now. But is it time for people that voted, did a triple Trump, to give up on ethnic food? You know, I almost feel bad, Brian, interrupting the joyride we were taking there of Democrat souls, the wreckage of their souls. It was incredible. Honestly, first of all, Beto O'Rourke, you've got to look at this guy and understand his deep expertise in being a loser, right? He's the perfect guy for the Democrat Party right now. There was also a moment earlier in that same rally where he was talking about how we need all the illegals. Stay with that, Beto. Tell everybody, tell the American people, we need 10 million more illegals, just like we got under Biden. Let's see how that works out for you in the midterms. They don't know what to do, and this is the moment, I think, that the Democrats have been dreading for quite some time, which is the destruction of their media apparatus, the destruction of their central messaging by Donald Trump, by the MAGA movement. I don't think they ever could have imagined, even just a year ago, never mind, a few years ago, that they'd be in this position. Well, they have no arguments to make that can win back the American people at this point in time. They have no leadership to inspire anyone. So they just have all these lunatics running around. There's no one to lead them, so I guess they're going to say things like, we shouldn't eat guacamole anymore. Have they seen the polls, or the exit polls in the last election cycle? Trump actually did very well with a whole range of different minorities. But it's also just a crazy idea, Brian. I don't know why we have to listen to people who are so insane. But those are the voices at the front of the Democrat Party right now, so you can't really avoid them, right? And then, of course, there's a gerrymandering thing we can have a lot of fun with. Hey, Buck, you love it because you have a 3-hour talk show, and this gives you a lot to talk about every single day. Remember Beto O'Rourke said, looked at the wall and said, if I'm elected president, I'll take the wall down? That's not aging well at all. And so this is who he is. He's funding the exit of these Texas lawmakers into Illinois through a super PAC. You know, you've got this guy who's making an argument that's really an impossible argument for anyone to make with a straight face that they care about having any integrity. The advantage Democrats have is they have no integrity to protect on this issue. They got a lot of legal, a lot of latitude. Beto O'Rourke and these others who are saying that gerrymandering is a threat to democracy. This is just fighting fire with fire, also known as playing by the rules, by the way, the rules that they have abused in a single example of that any state out there. So Pritzker, speaking out of this, as you pointed out, not the elephant in the room on it, which is that they've been doing this in his home state. It just goes to show you they don't have arguments. They're just upset that they can't win right now, And they're not getting any better at this. Yeah. It's just going to keep getting worse for them, and Trump's going to keep racking up wins. Look forward to listening to your show tomorrow on this. Also, I found out today, listen to the press conference, that Pritchard got kicked out of his family business. So I'm going to follow that story. It's over. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it, Bob. Meanwhile, straight ahead, Tom Holman, Teletubbies, and Cages. That story's straight ahead. Don't move.
With bugs, the struggle is real. That's why you need Zero Traps. Zero works 24/7 to lure, catch, and kill 99.9% of bug traps for effortless protection. Zero, people friendly, bug deadly. Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
Sorry, where was this?
If your check engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Is that transmission?
But with Endurance, you can never pay out of pocket for a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
$1,400. Endurance paid it. Who's gonna pay for your next car repair? You or Endurance?
Call right now to get $300 off any plan.
Did you know 95% of people have personal information on the dark web, leaving them vulnerable to cyber criminals? In today's digital age, your personal information is under constant threat. Hackers are always lurking, waiting to steal millions of dollars from innocent people. But it doesn't have to be this way. Join the millions who trust PCMATIC's comprehensive cybersecurity protection and take back control of digital life today. Get protected now at PCMatic.com.
38% of Americans don't get enough magnesium, which is vital for bone, nerve, and muscle. I recommend Donos magnesium lysate. It's formulated for high absorption and is gentle on the stomach. Donos, the brand I trust. I'm here with Chris Cudahan, Lead Filter. What is the problem with the clock gutter?
Rotten fascia, rotten soffit, mildew mold in the attic.
So how can Lead Filter fix this problem?
So the first thing we're going to do is professionally clean out all your gutters, realign them, install our leak filter system that allows nothing but water. Just give us a call, set up an appointment, we'll come out and give you a free gutter inspection. To schedule your free inspection, call 833-LEAK-FILTER or visit leakfilter.com.
This over here. No, the neighbors better. And hackers. Go to TinyComfort.com. One get one free today. Every step counts. Are you wondering how can two different meat brands both be number one? Must do. If there can only be one. Super Meats by You, America's #1 selling, #1 cardiologist. Get started today at livehuman.com. From Washington to the world stage,
President Trump is racking up win after win after win.
getting set on steps for fulfilling the presidential agenda to lay on Kennedy. When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening. Day 37 of the ark. The sheep. They're crazy. The lions. Hungry. When you're facing a disaster of biblical proportions, you need a lot of food. Because when they bring flood problems, or storms, power outages, whatever, you're either prepared or you're not. All right, check this out. 4-week survival food kits. Mac and cheese was good for 25 years. I told you guys it was good. Buy one 4-week survival food kit, we'll send you to 4-week food stuff.
Russians has on the air. They protect their big plan. More folks bring you back. Every capsule supports stronger, fuller hair naturally. Real women are seeing real results with more. This is going to be your volatile seeds in your growth. Your feel shiny and soft. 2 pills a day. Get your own more. More hair, more confidence, your world. Go with Worry.com. See how you can get 50% off. If you know luxury, it's not just your thing, it's real luxury. Sample mattresses supports all types of sleepers. Luxury is handcrafted and assembled in American factories and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service, which is why over 90% of customers will recommend Saba to friends and family. Saba, luxury mattresses made of.
So it might be that time, but today's sunrise was, you know.
I'm not saying touch your legally. You should get touched. That's what we are. I don't do touch to a button and touch your if I get someone to touch your legally, I don't really touch them. You should get touched over either. But when you actually get touched illegally, you have committed a crime. You are criminal.
Wow, Tom Holman's got a new job. He is the sun. That's 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit if you're out keeping score out of the thermometer. Van operates cannot touch Holman. They get a 5th-degree burn at least. And the activists, they're already melting down because of it. They're building cages just like President Obama did, remember? The dirty dozen in Gainesville reenacted alligator Alcatraz, like a Broadway play. Instead of Jose behind bars, they have Karen in chains. But they boxed the casting for the guards. Come on, guys. These aren't gators. They look like Antifa. CNN hates alligator Alcatraz, too. They're worried about panthers and the Big Dipper.
This area is actually an internationally recognized dark sky area, and now from 15 miles away, you can see what looks like stadium lighting in the distance, which was filed with our court documents and heard during last week's hearings in court during expert testimony. That's important not just for humans who enjoy gazing at the stars in the night sky, but also because the endangered Florida panther is a nocturnal species.
Right. Worried about gazing at panthers. While CNN is worrying about celestial bodies, protesters are praying to the heavens.
Zero duct alligator Alcatraz. People from different things coming together praying for those inside. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. During the prayer vigil, a call for the taking inside. The man on the phone saying, Alex Reyes, the dishes right now. I'll be right back.
Okay. Reyes should have self-deported. We wouldn't have this problem. Then he wouldn't be surrounded by hungry gators in the mud. Other Democrats are taking advantage of the visitor. Like astronaut and Senator Mark Kelly thinks he's on a space mission to rescue illegal ground.
I saw an evil light where a lot of moms and grandmas could be out with the families going to work as they go through whatever immigration process they're in, but we have now swung drastically in another direction. I don't think this is what you know.
All right, hey, Mark Biden's a quarter got Trump elected, and crossings are at all-time low. That's a good thing for a guy to understand. You would think. In Los Angeles, I said quarter 32, and Detroit again. Nuts. So Hollywood's suiting up to. You got actor John Leguizamo. You heard about a Superman cape wearing an ice cape and is demanding his resignation.
What kind of loser volunteers to be an ICE officer? What a moron. DK, your pronouns are has been.
Really? He's producing and starring in his own movies. Assistant Secretary of Public Affairs for DHS, Tricia McLaughlin, joins us now. Tricia, first off, Dean Cain joined. That helps, right?
Absolutely. Who doesn't want Superman to join their law enforcement? But it's not just Dean Cain. We have almost 100,000 applications for ICE law enforcement. Just since last week when Secretary and President Trump called on patriotic Americans to join our ranks, if you want to join the fight and clean up America's streets, go to join.ice.gov. We're calling on all patriotic Americans to join, and there's no age cap.
So there's 10,000 openings. Now you have 100,000 applications. You're also doing something else that makes it important. It was just maddening to think that we paid for a wall that Joe Biden wouldn't put up. And then he started selling it off for pennies on the dollar. But now President Trump and his staff, you guys, have reached back and trying to get that wall back forever.
Absolutely. We're not going to be wasting hardworking U.S. taxpayers' dollars, and we're recruiting the best to get the worst of the worst. President Trump and Secretary Donos have been nothing but extraordinary with our Border Patrol agents to make sure that our border is secure, and it's the most secure in American history, but we need even more ICE officers on the ground.
I'll go ahead and
Rapists, terrorists, drug rebel members from American communities, and make sure Americans are safe again, Ryan.
Senator Mark, how many patients arresting grandmas and moms? You know, can you tell me what the stats say?
That's just fear mongering. Here are the facts. 70% of those illegal aliens who have been arrested under this administration have either prior criminal convictions or
Comments if I stand tomorrow. Fucking better. Going inside that house, and that's that.
For what happened to my son? Fucking shame so much. Just because they do a favor to Catholics don't mean to a favor for you. Yeah, please. You have a badge in your house. Do you know who it is? Yeah. Fix it. Then we have a deal. I of course. No. Eddie, why don't you tell everyone here what you told me this morning? That was untipped. Rich off about Antwerp.
It was that cunt who was supposed to be choked up.
That's
not Brendan. What?
We're coming. Sit down, sit down. It's what I'm most scared of. Dad. I can feel it coming in. Either round or thunder. See how I didn't keep that in mind. It's like a fucking show. Even though it's there. The walls swinging about, bobbing up and down, happy. All of a sudden, it's gotcha. Here you are. Stranded in. Yeah. My son's my brother. My wife is my dad's sloppy seconds. I knew about Beth. But Eddie, no one told me. I felt it. Do you know what? I realize now. I can feel it. Just can't. Suppose.
Feeling better.
They weren't that much then. You know what you're talking.
All right.